and the things that he was saying, I was against.
So he came home and was like, "Babe, I don't want to fornicate no more." And I'm like,
I got a testimony of what he's done, and I can't keep it to myself. He took the shackles off my feet, and now I've got the victory.
Hey y'all, welcome to another week of Marriage and Millennials. This week we have a very special guest with us, Mr. Kevin and his wife Charmonique.
How you doing?
Man, thank you guys so much for coming, man. Like I say, accepting us asking you guys to come over, man.
Or invitation.
Accepting our invitation. Thank you.
Thank
It
y'all.
means a lot, man. It really does mean a lot, man. Kevin, I know you and I had a chance to talk several times and things like that. Sean, it's my first time meeting you, but I think it's going to be a pleasure as well.
Yeah.
And man, every time I meet with you, brother, as I mentioned to you before, I get like a spirit, like what I don't know. Do you know what I told you? Like when I went to your house that time.
Man, it's just a good feeling, man. Good
Yeah.
vibes.
Great vibes, man.
Great
You
vibes,
can
man.
tell you're a good person, man. You're a
Yes,
great person.
great
And I definitely wanted to talk to you and your wife about y'all marriage, y'all relationship, and also give you guys an opportunity to bless other people
Yes.
that's watching as well. So, man, again, thank you guys so much for
Thank y'all so
being
much.
here. And y'all look just as good as me and my wife.
Come on. Yes, yes.
Just as good as me and my wife. So,
Yes, indeed.
but yeah, so for the ones that's kind of watching for the first time, Marriage and Millennials was started because of the simple fact that a lot of people, they give us great compliments on me and my wife and things like that. But one thing I wanted to do was showcase other couples this entire month because of the simple fact is that we're not the only young couple that's living for God.
Right.
All right. So I wanted to give a spotlight to Kevin and Charmonique and let them go. So Babe has the first question. She gonna go
Yes,
ahead.
okay.
And go.
How did you guys come to know Christ?
Can I answer first? You want me to answer?
You can go ahead.
Okay.
Start with you.
I've always been in church, per se.
Right.
But to really know Christ, it took another brother's example before me. And I noticed a change in his life. Now, he was talking to another brother that I've seen, I was looking for, we was on the job. And I guess he was witnessing to the brother, and I came and I interjected looking for him. And, the things that he was saying, I was against. And really basically because I was ignorant at the time.
Okay.
That's not something I've been taught. So he began to ask me, okay, well, you show me what must I do to be saved. And so I'm telling him, my idea of what it is to be saved and whatnot. And he told me, well, just show me in the Bible. I couldn't find it. I went on my phone. I went Google searching. I couldn't find it.
Right.
And everything that I was against, he began to show me throughout the scriptures, what it says, teaching me how a man must be born again. How, we can come out of dark places. We don't have to consistently continue in sin. We can walk in the newness of life, and things that I thought that were impossible for man to be able to achieve, he began to show me. And through my own conviction, God began to deal with me. And I began to, study to show myself approved and seek. And I would go to him for guidance and ask questions. And, because I seen his life.
Yeah.
I didn't just jump on right then and there. I took some time first. I kind of at times tried to, find some little trigger moments in him and try to, forcibly make him mad on certain things just to see if it was real, because I didn't want to invest in something that I knew, my flesh was still fighting. I didn't want to invest in something that I knew wasn't true in himself first. So, but when he, consistently stood and I see him withdraw himself from the same type of company, I began to believe in his walk, in his life, rather more so than his words.
Right.
His words were apparent through how he, presented himself among people. And it was a difference because we used to be the same ones doing the same things, drinking, partying, and it was not like that anymore.
Wow.
So through that, through his life and through his change and convictions, I began to seek Christ for myself.
Yeah.
And that's when I finally I got filled with the Holy Ghost. And then God just began to open my horizon and open my understanding more. And here we are today.
Yeah,
that's real good, Kevin.
That's awesome. Yeah, whoever that guy is, man, shout out to you, man.
Jason Sims.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
Yeah, but
I shout him out, man.
Man, he's a great example. One, and that's one thing I heard. But also, he didn't push. He challenged you, but he didn't push your own idea of salvation.
Yeah,
You know, they would ask
idea
questions to pull it out of you, which I thought was key. So, Jason, I got to meet you, brother. I don't know who you are.
Sir.
Definitely got to meet you, man. Then what about you, Sean?
Well, seeing him change and him, at the time we were together, but we weren't married. We was living together.
Okay.
So he came home and was like, "Babe, I don't want to fornicate no more." And I'm like, and so just
All of a sudden,
seeing, how he had this joy about just seeking after God, and I was like, I had kind of like a godly jealousy, like I want that, Okay, well, let me go ahead and see what this is about, and man, I have no regrets. No regrets.
So, okay, so basically, I'm hearing an example. That's what I'm hearing. You got led to Christ by example from Jason. You got led to Christ by Kevin, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So,
and that's how it should be, as the husband is supposed to be that lead, and the wife, she basically follows through, So
and I've heard this once. They say, sometimes you gotta understand that all of us are the only Jesus that most people probably will ever see.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're not the example, then are you a poor example of Jesus? Like I saw a clip. I don't know who the pastor was yesterday, actually, and he was just talking about how certain people treat other people, and that turns people away from the church, or turns people away from God, turns people away from Jesus, and it's just what I thought about, man. Just being an example and making sure you're doing it in a loving way, challenging, without necessarily being combative and say, man, you're so wrong, get out of here, type of deal.
Right.
So I thought
that can really push people away. Forcing your idea on other people. That's not the right way to go about a situation whenever you're trying to save someone.
Yeah.
So you gotta let them bring it on to them, and then let them go on.
Yeah. Hey man, sure it is, because I did some stalking on y'all social media.
Come on.
And I saw y'all was together. You was a cheerleader in Washington, man, and all that. How long have y'all been together, and also how long have y'all been married?
We've been together since high school, so about 10 years.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We actually hooked up. We know the exact date.
Yeah.
It's August 30th, 2008.
We August 16th.
Yeah.
Come on.
2006.
Yeah, 6.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Awesome. So y'all, now, this is not even part of our question, I don't think, but how do y'all come about? Like, what was that? Just saw each other, like, I want him, she want.
The first time I seen him, he didn't recognize me, but it was at church, and then I didn't know his name. Just thought he looked nice, and then we ended up. I ended up messaging him on MySpace.
MySpace, man.
Oh my
Yeah.
She's
God.
laughing because
That's our exact same story.
Really?
I promise.
Go ahead, continue it.
And we went to school together. So we saw each other every day.
Yeah.
And ever since
That's
then.
cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And really, with me, it was more so she was a lot younger than me.
Okay.
And I really didn't know that at the time. But from her mother, she began to kind of break down the rules. And, if I expect to, excel with her daughter, then this is what it has to be. So with Charmonique, she was a lot more level-headed than I was.
Yeah.
So she kind of gave me that balance I need because I was doing a lot of things.
It's wild, man.
Just kind of I was wild. And, I had money. I would try to give her the money, but when she realized how I got the money, she was done with me. And that just showed me a difference from girls I dated in the past in high school.
Cool.
She just, I said, this one really cared for me. On the side of us having a kind of mutual conflicts at home, it kind of was something that when we got on the phone, we were able to talk about and kind of work it through,
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And y'all got married, what age were you guys when y'all got married?
I was 18.
Yeah, and I did 21 at the time.
Wow, man, y'all were super young. So what is that, 6 year marriage? How long?
5.
5 years?
5 going on 6.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Awesome, man. Let me ask y'all, why would y'all say, for the couple that's watching it, why is it so important to keep God first in your marriage and also give an example of how you guys do that within your marriage?
Okay. Well, man, you have to be able to keep God first and foremost. God is love. You know, so if you don't love the creator of love, how can you love your wife?
Wow.
Right, that's good.
You know, so yeah, I mean, and what it does is God gives you the standard on how to love. You know, when you go and look up love, especially when you're speaking of charity, 1 Corinthians 13, you get to see how it's long suffering. It vaunteth not itself. It's not puffed up. It's not easily provoked. You know, it thinketh no evil. You know, it even bears no record of evil. So in that, I have to be able to be long suffering with my spouse. I have to be able to forgive. I have to not be combative. I have to be patient. I have to be understanding. And I also have to be submissive as well. So in all of these things, you know, loving God has helped and showed us how to be better Christians. And being a better Christian helped me be a better husband, helped my wife be a better wife. You know?
Wow. Okay.
I feel like God, he sets the standard for me, and he keep me in check. So at times when I want to say something and maybe flip off at the mouth, and you know, if things not going my way and I want to voice my opinion, it kind of keeps me like, okay, no, you know, a quiet answer, a turn away, anything like it won't sit up here and let us continue to argue. You know, if we're not seeing eye to eye, and end up like letting us see eye to eye and not just being able to see each other's perspective instead of I'm just trying to get my point across, and I don't care about what he thinks.
Yeah.
So that's why I say God just keep me in check.
That's good. Yeah. So for the couple that's out there that's struggling with keeping God first, putting Him first and things like that, what would y'all say the initial first step would be to? Because you have some people that say, "Well, I want Christ, man. I want a marriage like you guys have." But man, how do I go about doing it? What would be the initial step y'all think? Just say one step.
Just one step. I know just to even come out of the world, and I apply the same things even in my marriage. You have to be able to separate yourself from things that's not conducive to your marriage.
Good.
You know, from people, from media, you know, from even TV shows and programs. You know, you want to be around godly counsel, and a lot of times you may not know it, but these things that you put before your eyes, they counsel you.
Wow.
In a way, you know, you may not see it's coming inside of you, but you know, when pressure arises, you begin to respond based on what's in you. You know, so you have to be able to be mindful of what you're feeding your spirit.
Yeah.
Good.
And also praying together.
Yeah.
That's
like
it.
the biggest thing, because it shows so much humility, and not just when you pray together, not saying, "Oh, well, Lord, help him to do this." You know, if you're the wife, help him to do this. Lord, help him do this and that, and all the things that you want. But instead, be like, God, help me to be a better wife, or help me to be a better husband.
Right.
You know, the things that you know that your spouse wants you to work on. You start praying it, you know, to yourself, but with your spouse. So that way your spouse will see, like, okay, they trying.
Yeah.
You know, they want this marriage to work, and they want it to go God's way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm glad she said that, because sometimes just praying together could be so hard when y'all don't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
And you know that's something that you need to do, but when it's that hard, it's more of a necessity to break down and do it like that.
Kind of break the ice.
Because the enemy just exposed himself. When you see your flesh, it's like, man, I don't even want to pray with him. Because I had them times. Brother, I had them times. You know, man, I don't even want to pray with them. But you know there's something that will break the ice, that'll break the mold, because it's dying, it's killing you. You begin to die out in it. You know, so I just wanted to kind of throw that out there as well. She mentioned, you know, that's the perfect answer, praying together, because at one point in time, that was hard for Brother Kev.
Yeah.
Just to do it when I was mad. But that's even more reason why we should pray together.
That's great. That's great.
Well, how do you guys feel about submission? Or I should maybe ask you, Charmonique, how do you feel about
I
submission?
think submission is very, very necessary. Submission, I feel like it changes over time, because you're in different situations in the course of your relationship. You know, just following the lead of your husband and nowadays it looks like as you are weak.
Yeah.
But it actually takes more strength to just take the back seat.
Yeah.
It takes more strength to just, okay, let me just be quiet for, a second. So, but it's very much necessary, especially to keep the peace in your home.
Yeah, man, it's worth it, right?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing with that submit, because I believe, people may look at that word as being so superficial from a male's perspective.
Right.
And because the Bible also tells us to submit ye one to another. So, and we really have to really pay attention to how Christ did that. Though Christ was over the church, he was head of the church, and he's supposed to be head over the husband, Christ yet served the church. When he began to come to his disciples, he washed their feet at times, or even when he had to be baptized by John the Baptist. John the Baptist didn't even feel worthy to unlace his sandals. But yet he understood that worked humility in the disciples, that even worked humility in John the Baptist. But him having a mindset that though I'm head, though my name shall save them, he still yet put himself in a position to serve them. So likewise, husbands have to be able to serve their wives. Because what takes place is, I'm not forcing her to submit to me.
Yes,
Yeah.
When I serve her first, it's almost like, okay, you have Christ, and I'm not changing the order, but I just want you to bear with me. You have Christ, you have the husband, and you have the wife. Well, if Christ came and put himself to serve, not saying that we're over Christ, but because he came down low to serve us, we insisted on putting Christ where he belongs. The husband put Christ where he belongs.
Yeah.
Christ didn't force himself to be head over us and just have dominion over us. But we initially took the responsibility because of how loving, how good he is. I said, Christ, I want you as my Lord.
Right.
And likewise, if I come and do the same step to my wife will say, I want you as my husband.
Right.
Yeah.
She will put me in that position rather than me force myself there. And now what happened is she's more receptive to the things I have to say. She's more open to allow me in her circle. Because, man, women are emotional creatures.
Yeah.
Showing
up.
They emotional creatures, man. And if you coming in talking about Bible, are you supposed to submit to me? I'm your head. Man, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
If you got the dishes need to be washed, brother, you wash them. The clothes need to be folded, brother, you fold them. It's hard because you understand, man, I want my wife to do this, but you have to be the example in the home of what you want your wife to be.
Yeah.
It
That's
makes
great.
it so much easier for us to feel like, let me go ahead and do it. If you see your husband doing all of this stuff,
Yeah.
let me go. I got it, babe. That's all
I
right.
can help him out.
Yeah, Kevin said, he said
That's
that
good.
servanthood humbles the person that you're serving. What you just said, that was so key, man. And I said this on a couple of videos ago. I said reciprocity is the healthiest sign of relationships. Okay, so if husband or wife rather is the only one that's submissive, but we're not submissive, or we're not serving, then it's not as healthy as we would like it to be, because of the simple fact that she's giving, but we're not giving. We just taking.
It's taking.
You see what I mean? And but nah, man, Kevin, you hit it right on the head, brother. Right on the head, man. Really appreciate it.